Stay calm. So stay calm. 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 Now you want my sleep time. I dream every night time that you're in some dark place, reaching out for me and let me go. I see you on highways at the end of the picture, and the more I tear you out, the more you stay. You said leave me alone, and I stayed home, and you let me walk away. You said leave me alone, and now you're gone, and I let you walk away. So stay calm, stay calm. So stay calm, 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 stay Stay calm. I'm curled on the floor with my eyes swollen shut from the fists of my circumstances. No light penetrates this pit where wolves howl and hyenas cackle, mocking my efforts, waiting for me to lay waste of myself. I fought for nothing, broken my soul for a piece of something not meant to be mine. I find my way blindly across the shattered remnants of my spirit, barely able to pray. I don't know what to ask for. I don't want my physical wounds to heal because they're easier to deal with than the absences within me when no eyes watch. I've split my fists for nothing, butting heads with fate who's fought far too many greats for me to match. So I'm trying not to die, though death is so easy. I'm trying not to just lie and let the scavengers feed off my wasted flesh and ravaged beast. There's no blood left to bleed. Only an unforgiving consciousness replaying those failed attempts to leave. So I breathe in the waste and taste the rotten blood. I feel the fractured bones and move in the congealed mud that's just about to drown me. I'm not done yet. I'm not going out yet. I haven't won my bet that every dream I've ever set is mine, and mine only to get.
Ooh, oh! That was something else. That was something else. Ooh, I had to put that in. I had to put the interlude. The title of it is Dream, and it comes from the album itself, Torn Tapestries. I hope I'm saying the title right. I've been thinking about this the whole time. So thanks everyone. Thanks for coming through. The first song that I played is Bubble B, which is a song by FK Mash and our guest tonight, CEO on Music Nights. So I'm so humbled. I'm so honored. We are humbled. We are honored to have this wonderful artist, wonderful human being on our space today. And the space has finally happened. It was a couple of niggles there and then in the last 2 months or so, just having her on. But tonight we actually do have her on. So welcome everyone. Thank you for coming through. It's a pleasure from Vokzman all the way here in Cape Town. And I hope you enjoy this time tonight with us on Music Night with our guest, CEO. Can't wait to hear. Before I give her the mic, before we test the mic to see if her mic is actually working properly, Lloyd, my brother, how are you doing? Are you good?
Wonderful, wonderful, Vokzman. You know, we've been waiting for the space, my guy. Yo, I can't even remember how many months. It's probably a year now. Yeah, but we are finally here. We're finally here. We have Usio. So we're gonna have a wonderful time, guys. You can somehow share the space, and I think it's quite difficult to share the space with this new feature. So, bottom. Okay, no, top right. Yes, top right. There's a arrow there pointing up. You can just say, click it and the link, paste it as a tweet. That's how you can share the space. And if you have any questions, guys, there's a bottom chat box there. You can just type the question there, and I'll read it. I'll ask you for you. So as Carl Vokzman, as Carl.
Shout out. That's Lloyd, the host of the Top of the Morning Space as well as the Deep House Space, which happens every Friday. Look out for us again this coming Friday. We're going to be having some amazing artists with some amazing music. So
Vokzman,
check us
sorry.
out.
I don't know if it's me, but Ukarwa break Joe. Think network was on your side. It's
Aish,
slacking. It's slacking.
don't make me feel like that today. But I hope I'll be good for the rest of the 2 hours that we're gonna have with CEO. Without further ado, before I go in anywhere further, um, let's check the mic first. Uh, Good evening, CEO. Please unmute your mic. Let's see if it's working properly.
Evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Absolutely amazing.
Amazing. We give thanks.
Oh, good. Oh, good. We can hear you. I can hear you. Everyone else in the space can hear you. So, welcome again to Music Night.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I mean, I saw a couple of videos where you're actually performing this past weekend. I wish I was there, and you were amazing. So people were like raving. Oh,
Dude.
that was crazy.
She was killing it. And she's everywhere. I'm checking WhatsApp status. I'm checking Instagram. She's everywhere.
Sorry, but it's not a bad thing, I hope. Yeah, I had an incredible weekend, and there's a lot of incredible things happening. I think for the most part, the world started to open up to CO and the music world of CO, and obviously there's like a very sort of performance space. So, but like for the most part, people just knew my recorded work, and a demand to perform came just before COVID said, "Hi, everyone." And COVID season 1 came and locked us indoors. So now that I don't know what season of COVID we're on, but that one, is kind of giving us room and space to engage with each other outside and offline a bit more. There's a big demand for people to catch up with the music and the live space and put that together. So I'm very blessed that people care enough and love the music enough that they want to see me perform it live. So that's what's happening. So it's honestly, it feels like a very big, very massive and loving welcome to Sio Live. So busy, busy, busy.
Lovely, lovely. I love it. I love it. I love it. We started off in a good note, so it's gonna be amazing. Thanks again. Thanks for accepting our invite. Yes, it's been a nuggle there and there, been a jiggle there and
Yeah.
there just to get you on. But thank you for coming through.
Yeah, finally there's actual time and focused time that I can share. So I'm grateful that you were patient enough to to keep knocking, and I was like, okay, cool, I must do this, and you're not mad at me for saying no so many times because I couldn't at the time. So thanks again for having me.
It's a pleasure. No one is angry. No, no one is angry. We would have waited 10 years. We'd have
Ish.
waited 10 years. So no, everything is good from our side.
Okay, thank you.
I think where we can start our conversation at, quite recently, you've released an album which also has Dave Martian. Am I pronouncing
Yes,
his name? Dave Martian, right?
yes.
And I believe I've listened to it. We're loving it. Everyone is just loving it. It's been doing so good. You've even had yourself on Times Square, which has been amazing.
Yo,
How is the feeling being around your album and just all this ambience that you're getting regarding your music?
it's like, I mean, I don't know. I'm still pinching myself. Honestly, I'm still that girl in Annadale pinching herself with these big dreams. And a half of me is like sitting in shock, just watching this unfold in grateful shock. Like, because I'm like, wait, man, I'm from Annadale. What's going on? How is it that this girl from Annadale, from the hood, from the ghetto, from the Kasi, is in Times Square? It's just crazy, but absolutely blessed, and just I'm beyond grateful that again people care enough, and that to get myself and my music given this platform by one of the greatest music sharing platforms in the world is just like, okay, so you're not dreaming big enough. Dream bigger. Go chase those dreams. And all of those times, like the interlude you played just before we started speaking, is very meaningful to me because it speaks to everywhere that I have been and a lot of places I'm still gonna go through, and I'm still kind of going through in different aspects of my life where I struggle with accepting goodness and accepting good things happening because I'm so used to bad things happening, and I feel like a lot of us are. So just sitting and giving thanks that that's happening and trusting that as long as I'm alive, I'm worthy. And you are as well. So not just me, but like we are all worthy of the pursuit of our dreams, and each breath is a blessing, giving us permission to pursue that. So, yeah, it's just been mental, and grateful.
Oh, shout out, sure, shout out. It all sounds good.
Mm.
It's all also in good plan, as it should be. Also, I think we've been looking forward to see you reach these heights. We've been looking forward to seeing you perhaps get to places that you haven't been before, and it's amazing. And it's amazing to see this. Looking forward to more successes too, of course.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. I received the blessings on blessings on blessings and returned them right back.
Lovely. Someone just texted me. It's like, yo, CEO sounds so cool. He never thought that you sound so cool. So,
I'm glad I don't sound like a tool. Thank God.
no, lovely, lovely. Um, I've seen a couple of concerts, a couple of events that you are part of
Yeah,
in the next spring, in the next summer.
yeah.
Can you already like maybe just give us a short summary of where CEO's heading regarding the rest of the year? I mean, such amazing events are coming up.
Yo, there's
Like,
so many really dope ones. Yeah, you're right. Like I've gotten an invitation to perform. Like the biggest ones are happening on the same weekend, which is mad. But I'm just like, what? Thank you, Lord. But I'm performing at Rocking the Daisies in this early summer, as well as Spring Fiesta, and there's a string of other like not so big events or festivals happening, but still ultra cool nonetheless that I've been invited to, and I'm going to be playing at this summer, so I'm excited.
we're happy to see it. I'm happy to see it, and I really hope one of these days I can also be a part of those events. I can actually attend one.
I'm
Perhaps
sure.
when are you performing in Cape Town? Perhaps.
Well, apart from Rocking the Daisies, there's like a couple of things in the pipeline for a little bit later, for roughly November, but we're still awaiting confirmation. So once that's clear, I'll definitely post on my socials about where that's going down and when. And you'll please come through. We'll see what style of music we'll play. Maybe it'll be a mashup of everything I've done across like the board, but it will be nice just to, you know, share the music wherever I can. It's always just blessed.
It's gonna be amazing. Definitely looking forward
Thank
to
you.
it. I'd like us to track it back a bit. I'd like us to track it back a bit to find out where Sio is from. How did you grow up? I mean, where did this music thing start? Where did it begin? I mean, this young beautiful lady, all the way in Joburg, and now making waves throughout the world. Where did she begin? Thank you.
So I grew up in a little, is it a township? Because it's not really a suburb, called Annandale. It's in the south of Joburg. It's next door Lenasia South, if you know where that is, and next door Orange Farm. Like they're literally 10 minutes away from each other in a circle. So that's where I'm from. I grew up there. I lived there most of my life. Um, I was I'm an only child on my mom's side. I've got a lot of other siblings from my father's side. We're not gonna go into that now. But so yeah, I went to school there. And I could always kind of string notes together, but like I didn't discover my own voice for the longest time, because like if you're in a choir, the choir conductor says sing this in soprano or whatever the tone is, or alto or tenor, wherever you fit, or they'll say sing like this and you follow. So I didn't really discover my own voice and my own sound and my own tone until I tried to write a song, because I remember, well, I did grow up in a single parent household, single mom, breadwinner, um, trying to keep everything together with a whole lot of intense circumstances around her, and that she held it together is actually miraculous if I think about it now. Because I don't know if I could do that. It's just mad. But she did it because she had to, and that's the blessing of a mother if you have a good one. So give thanks and shout out to moms all around the world who are, and dads also who do this, because there are dads who do this. Just shout out to the peeps who can. So yeah, so we weren't the richest. There was many nights we had to we had to eat bread and use your imagination and pop and choke. So we've all lived that life, or maybe not all of us, but like I come from that kind of house sometimes. And I remember there was a lot. I used to listen to the radio quite a bit, and I used to have a cassette player. I know, an old one, right? So I kept the cassettes, and I'd record songs from the radio just to keep them. Because I couldn't afford to buy music or stream music or anything, because I didn't really have a phone or anything. And there were songs that I couldn't catch. Like, you know, when you're listening to or at least when I was listening to like the top 40 on Saturday on Metro or something, there'd be songs that would pop up and I'd forget. Like, I'd catch the end of the song and I'd want to learn the entire thing. So I'd record the song, and then miss. And then I'd write lyrics to it. Just for myself, just to see, just to fit in the rest of the 3 minutes that I imagined the song would be. Um, and then this voice came out, and I'm just like, I sound like someone kicked me out of 1950 New Orleans jazz era. I'm like, huh? And that time um there's no reference in my life of that kind of jazz. I know a lot of South African jazz, I suppose, in that context, but not like jazz from that era or those people, really, outside of maybe Mam Maria Makeba and Baba Humasigela. Like singers like I did not know Etta James, I did not know Billie Holiday, I did not know Nina Simone. Then later I found out that I'm kind of in that vocal expression, in a sense, a little bit in my own way. Like the closest thing at the time was Erykah Badu, and a lot of people compare me to Miss Erykah Badu. It's an honor, it's an intimidating honor because she's such a legend. But she was the closest thing I could find. So anyway, so I was also bullied a lot as a child, so I spent a lot of time alone, and I plugged into books, and then went to church also, and didn't really like singing a lot. In there was a nun, because I went to like a Catholic church, and this nun's name is Sister Teresa. So Sister Teresa came on board and asked us to join like the youth choir, and she asked me to sing in my natural voice, and my natural tone was soprano. And I used to like to sing tenor because I don't want to stretch my voice. But she made me sing there, and it opened me up to creating. But then at the same time, because I'm a loner, I'm in high school, I'm awkward. I'm still awkward. I've kept the awkwardness. It works for me. Kids, stay yourself. It works. Be original. It's a vibe. But as a child, that's just horrible. It's terrible because you're outcast and you're bullied and you're this weird creature. Everyone's like, oh, what's wrong with this person? You know. So as a result of that, I'd write. I'd plug into my imagination a lot. Books. I'd escape into lots of fantasy, sci-fi kind of books, and my vocabulary changed a lot. And then I started to write poems, and the poems made sense. When I tried to write songs, I failed dismally. And then I was living with, like, I remember there was a time where we were like aunts and uncles and cousins, and we were just too many people in a little house. And a cousin came through to the room to fetch something, and he said, "Why don't you write songs? Because you can sing and you can write poems." And I'm like, it's hard because like I had a difficult time um making sense of melody and stuff. So it was tricky. And then I bought a guitar because my mother had written a heartbreak song for my dad because he left her. Oh my gosh, it is dark. And that was the first song I learned how to play on guitar. It was like 3 chords. And I learned that, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what else I can make. And then I couldn't sleep for like a good 9 months. I had insomnia, like proper insomnia. And I wrote a song called Insomnia. And from that point, it's just like, okay, the verse has one melody, the pre chorus has one melody, the chorus has its own melody, and so on and so forth, versus the 6 that were running through each space. And I was like, okay, this helps. So then I started writing from there. And then I used to have friends around Annadale. We're not friends anymore, but like she had done a song with guys because she's got this beautiful husky, like scratchy alto voice, and she decided not to follow that direction and went academically, and is successful in that sense. But she had done the song with guys, and she's just like, nah, this is not my thing. I can't really write songs. So she called me and a guy who had a mic and another guy who had a beat. And we got together with 2 other guys and formed Project 5. And I wrote songs for them and sang the songs. And then we made an EP, and that got signed to Ping Africa. And then 3 of us from Project 5 got together, and we did a couple of songs. They were called Marubini Music, and they featured Sio. I went by Sio Black Widow back then. And that also got signed to FOMP UK. Is it FOMP? Yes, FOMP UK. And then very quickly, the invitations came. Then I got invited to do a song with Luca called Next to You, because Luca was remixing for FOMP at the time. And then And then from Luca, we did Next to You, and Next to You got Charles Webster's attention and Lilac Jeans' attention. And then I did This Love with Lilac Jeans. And then This Love got Julian Gomez's attention. And I'm like, wait, Ben, what's going on? I'm from Annandale. Like my cousin is like I legit got like a message in Facebook, Facebook Messenger. And I'm just like, nah, guys. I asked my cousin, like I was on the couch, and you know that time the couch is broken. You know that broken where you scape, it's a shop. That kind of broken. So you're sitting in that couch and you're getting a message from Julian Gomes, and you're just like, no ways, this is not happening. No, 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 no. So my mother's looking at me like I lost my mind. And my cousin is like, cuz this looks legit. I'm like, you talking wind, Sunny. So I respond to him. And he's like, yo, I really like your song with Lilac Jeans, and I'd like to work with you. Hey guys, we met. Was I not shook? Ha! My jaw fell on the floor. And then at the same time, the legendary living legend, Charles Webster, is sending Luca messages to ask for my number. I'm like, no man. Ah! What's going on? That time I'm doing a job as a public service announcer at Game, at Trade Route, not far from where I stay. So I'm that guy or that girl reading the specials for the day every weekend because it was rough and there's no food and there was no money coming into the house. So I had to do what I had to do. And I'm sitting at this counter at this job I hate with all of my soul, with every fiber of my being. And Luca sends me a message saying, Sio, Charles Webster wants to talk to you. I was like, no, shut the front door. You talking nonsense. So I'm like, stay anyway. Take my phone number. It's fine. Take my phone number. Let's see. And Charles Webster gets in touch and says, I really love what you did on Next to You, and I'd like to work with you. I was like, what? And a week later, I met with Charles. Like, I could not close my mouth or my eyes or sleep or function properly for the longest time because I was like, I grew up listening to you. And then a few weeks later, I met Mr. Love Song 28 himself. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, so in a nutshell, that was a very long nutshell, but that's kind of where it started. And it happened gradually, but when it started to catch, it caught quickly, which was incredible. And I was still catching up to it in a lot of ways at the time. And then you're knocking doors on radio stations and you're just like, I don't understand. And opposite you is Mr. Fairy Tales himself, Mr. BBM Zion. You're like, hi guys. Yeah? What's going on? We're on the same album. Ha! Ganjai! You know what I mean? You know, so it's just like a lot of it is me pinching myself. And then I'm slowly, very not very, but yeah, but quite slowly getting to a point of accepting that I'm dreaming with my eyes open, you know, which is insane, but blessed. So yeah, that's the backstory.
Thank you so much. That was a complete and a beautiful nutshell. Looking forward to just hearing more. But I thought just in the meantime, before we exhaust your beautiful voice, and now you can't make music anymore, let's play a song. Let's play a song and just take a small drinking break, perhaps smoking break, whatever break that you want to get people in the space, please, so that after this we can give more questions and more conversations to our guest who's here tonight. And thank you again to everyone as always. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful night with this amazing artist. Shout out to you for making your time, taking your time out to actually come through here. So the song I'm gonna play is Alchemy, which is from CEO's latest album, which is doing wonders, which is doing amazing stuff. So please do enjoy. Please do enjoy this wonderful music and welcome to Music Nights on a Wednesday. On the Wednesday.
Be careful of the alchemy, my dear one. There's love in here, and I can feel it in the prose. You and I have the deepest undertones. Hold on, go straight. You cannot get away. Your heart is mine until the end of time. Your body's playing tricks on your mind. Your heart is like singing, I'm not like to lovely. Got you wrapped up from a finger like a toy. It's magic. Oh, I got you wrapped up from a finger, little boy. I can see me in your bones. You're spellbound. I'm in your soul. Be careful, love, 'cause I'm a drug. Intoxicates and hypnotizing you with love. Hold on, go straight. You cannot get away. Your heart is mine until the end of time. Your body's playing tricks on your mind. Your heart is like singing, I'm not like to lovely. Got you wrapped up from your finger like a toy. It's magic. Oh, how I got you wrapped up from your finger, little boy. Lovely. Got you wrapped up from your finger like a toy. It's magic. Oh, how I got you wrapped up from your finger, little boy. Got you wrapped up from your finger like a toy. How I got you wrapped up from my finger, little boy. Got you wrapped up from my finger like a toy. It's magic. Oh, how I got you wrapped up from my finger, little boy. I said, I love you too. He said, I love you. I said, I'm scared too. He said, show me. I said, I'm hurting. And this flirting is skirting too close to the place where my longing is flailing. 'Cause the last time I spoke this, he left me reeling, running from the feeling that the broken and the bleeding needed healing, but not from you. I'm not asking you to save me. I'm asking you to hold me, and I'm letting you see me without my armor. When I've shed off my fame and the expectations of my name, when I'm vulnerable and lame and I need you. I love you, he said. I can't hear it in my head. 'Cause I love you doesn't leave you. I've shown you my wounds and all the ways I've been used, and you bruised me when you told me that we're through. I love you felt safe. I could take off my public face 'cause I loved you, promised to love me right through. But if I love you is scared, and I love you is not prepared, don't speak words to me you can't stick to. He said, I love you. I said, I love you too. He said, I love you. I said, I'm scared too. He said, show me. But you're not here to speak to.
That was Alchemy Oh, beautiful song from this amazing album. Please go check it out. It's available on all streaming platforms. It's available in J. You just need to type CEO available and then type tone tapes cheese. I hope I'm saying that right. CEO, can I please ask, am I saying the title of the album correctly?
This is quite. No, it's okay. It's okay. English is the colonizer's tongue, so I don't blame you, my guy.
Nah,
It
it's
is.
just Voxman CEO. There's a term that we gave him on the space. It's Voxmaning. He has never
Okay, it's
pronounced anyone's
Voxman.
name correctly.
Ah,
So he just Voxmaned your album.
ish. Yeah, it's for the dogs, but it's fine. My name has been Voxman. That's also why I go by CO. You know, but no, it is torn tapestries.
Ha
Yeah.
ha 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 ha.
Like the
Look at
food,
that.
you know.
But that's why, like, I even asked, like, as I texted this friend of mine, I texted Stanley, and like, Stanley, please tell me how do I pronounce his name before I go into the
Ah,
space and do badly. But apologies, I do
it's
this so
okay.
badly.
It's okay. I'm used to it. Eh? It's fine. Don't stress.
Yeah. Before I give the mic to Lloyd and to everyone else who wants to grab the mic, please, if you are listening, you are more than welcome to grab the mic and be a part of the conversation, be a part of the interview that we're having with this amazing artist. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. She sounds amazing. I think I sound amazing too, though I butcher people's names sometimes. So please do grab the mic and come up. Um, your name.
Mm.
It's actually shortened, right? Could you please tell us
Yes.
your full length name and what it means? Thank you.
So my full name is Sióbhan. It is Irish. Ugh. It's an Irish name spelled Siobhan. I'm not Irish. I don't understand how that Siobhan makes Siobhan, but that's what it is. So my mom made a nurse back in an exchange program back in the 80s because my mom was a nursing sister. And back then, the nurses were all rounders and beasts. So the whole world's nursing systems wanted to be trained, or their nurses to be trained by South Africans. Maybe not the whole world, but like a lot of people around the world. So they would have these exchange programs. So she met an Irish lady called Siobhan and asked her, like, what is this name? And this lady's like, this is what it is. So my mother said, should I ever get a daughter? I will name her Siobhan. So I'm named after some Irish woman I'm never gonna meet.
Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
I would have literally said Soben
That's
because
it.
I looked at it and I was like, hey, should I say it? And I said, I can't.
There's Soban, there's Sióbhan, there's Sióbhan, there's Sióbhan. Hey, so it's just like stop at the O. There's only two ways this could go wrong. It's Sio or Sio. I can cope with that. Everything else just sounds like medicine or a disease, and I'm like, no, no, no.
Thank you for sharing that. Let me welcome to the space, Deep House News. But before I give him the mic, let's give the mic to Lloyd. Lloyd, my brother, please unmute. The platform is yours.
Yeah, no, CEO is a vibe. CEO, you say you grew up in Ennerdale. Do you know Poseidon?
Yeah, I went to Fred Norman Secondary. Of course, I know where Poseidon is. This next door.
I went to Poseidon, I think from grade 1 to grade 4. I used
That's
to school there.
hectic.
Yeah.
Wild. Small world.
I wouldn't say it's a small world because that was back in what, 2003, 2002. Yeah, that was the last time I actually stepped in Ennerdale.
Well, the world is small, guys. The internet made it shrink incredibly.
So
So,
so I'm
yeah.
I'm busy on my WhatsApp. I'm trying to source the names that I remember from Ennerdale. I'm like, do you guys know? Do you know this person? Do you know this person? So I'm trying to see if I can source your cousin or someone to come to the space, but we'll see. Deep House News.
What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? Good evening, all. Hey, Sio. Uh,
Hi,
how's it?
good on you.
Good, 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 good. Great performance on Sunday. Really loved it at the Breakfast Soul sessions.
Amazing. I'm glad you liked it. I had fun.
Yeah, no, dope, 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 dope. For me, it's just a question to you around performing. What's the feeling that you get from performing? And I've really noticed, or maybe I could be wrong, but you really haven't performed much in front of a house crowd. You know, I could be wrong, but that on Sunday was actually the first time me hearing you live. So I was just wondering, in terms of performing, what's the feeling you get from performing and everyone singing your songs, and then two, how often does the house music crowd get to hear you, or what's the plan going forward in terms of getting more performance? I know that's obviously gig based, but
Yeah. So to answer the first part of your question, what's the feeling I get from performing live? Is that in general, just house specifically?
in general.
In general, it's so tricky. I'll be honest, because it's quite nerve wracking saying, please listen to me, because that's essentially what I'm doing. Please listen to me and please pay attention to me, which is crazy, because who the hell am I to ask you for to do that? But at the same time, it's an honor and a privilege that people care enough, again, to listen to me and want to engage with me live and to see how much what I do becomes as and is woven into the lives of the people I've not met in my life. Like, I meet a lot of people on site and on gigs, and yes, there's a lot of people that I engage with online all the time because I'm on my phone all the time, and I try to be as engaging as I can, and share as much as I can. But it's actually just mad that people care. You know what I mean? So that's just an honor. And watching people sing my songs back at me is just, for me, the greatest honor, because I believe that what I look like, I didn't design, and even if I were to get plastic surgery, it will still be at the hands of the plastic surgeon. And in the same way, I didn't create my voice. But for me, my greatest flex, and I'll stand on this till I die, is my pen game. That's the thing I know that I can work on and I can harness, and that's like my biggest flex for me as an artist. I'm a storyteller, and the words are super important to me. And I know that in house music specifically, you don't need vocals. You really don't. Like, there's many a house song that we all groove to, that's got absolutely no words, and it's killing it. Like, right now, one of my favorite house songs currently is Dear Old Man. I'm so obsessed, and there's not a single word on Dear Old Man, and it slaps. So that's like the privilege of house. So when people sing my songs back to me, it's just like, damn, biggest compliment ever. So it's just an honor. And then the second part of your question was, have I performed for a lot in front of a house crowd? I think most of my performances have been, in actual fact, in front of a house crowd. The infrastructure, and it's very seldom that it's at a place that's so well taken care of, like at the Bread for Soul event. And I'll speak for myself. You perform in clubs, and they're difficult to perform in because the infrastructure is not built for vocal performance. It's built for the DJ and that. So it's, I struggle in clubs. I'm not gonna lie. But for the most part, it's been mostly house performances. And Saturday's one was one of my favorites because I could hear myself clearly, and it was a nice place to share and engage with people, which is lovely. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that I've also needed to learn how to perform because, again, outside of just the infrastructure suiting the DJ more, just in the club space, vocalists in house specifically aren't getting nearly as many bookings as a DJ who's not touched the work in any way, shape, or form apart from sharing it, and that's also very important to the culture. But a DJ will get booked a hell of a lot more than a vocalist was just a vocalist. So I think, I don't know, speak for myself, and I think I looked at Zion doing this, because Zion also just he shrugged off the boxes that people in society had placed him in, and the journey he'd been on for as long as he had, and what he became sort of world famous for, I'd say. And he pivoted, and he diversified how he shared his music, and I was just like, well, if he's clearly not just a vocalist, which was all I knew in my little bubble, Zion for. Um, he's more than that, and he's led himself and given himself permission to be more than that. So I also needed to learn how to do other things so I could be more bookable, and survive out in the music world, because we're not getting booked as much as the standard for DJ is. So I needed to learn how to diversify to survive.
Okay. No. I get that. Then just some follow up questions.
Mm.
Number one, I love you. What's the story behind that? Yeah, and like you said, your pen game is super strong. You're amazing. You're amazing, and I can understand why you've also ventured into becoming an author, and I love the work that you've done with the two books that you've released.
Thank you.
So yeah, the story behind "I Love You," and then two, I think you stood up for that the feature. You don't want to be known as featuring CEO.
Mm.
Yeah, can you talk to that a bit more? What is that declaration about? And what are we getting wrong with this featuring, or is it something that we need to really look at? Yeah, I'll stop there. Oh, and just maybe a third question. Then, who would you like to work with in the game at the moment?
Okay, so question one. What is the story behind "I Love You"? So I had dated a person who had inspired, or at least inspired feelings of love in me. And when I decided to write my own album and venture into a project that has CO's name on it and not featuring CO back and in 2016 is when I decided to do that. I I thought, okay, let me stop, because I'm very good at listening to Vokzman or Lloyd's story about Poseidon, and I can write a whole song about that, a whole 4-page poem, A4, and write a story about that and put myself in their shoes easily. It's not hard for me to do. But then I thought, when I'm doing my own music, I need to speak about myself. So I think that kind of just continued anyway. So I stopped, kind of, maybe not entirely, but for the most part, I've kept the story very CO and very CO's experience and what's been happening in my life. So with "And Love You" by Ralph Gum and me, uh, I wrote this album called Subtext, was largely inspired by how I felt for this guy, and it was it. Can I swear? I wanna, because it's an F bomb
Do
that you
it.
go
Do
off
it.
here. It was a fucking shit show. Yes, sis. Yo, it was dark. So yeah, so I did not have fun touring Subtext. I needed to restructure it in my mind so I could cope with it, and I'm just like, this is my first album. How the hell am I gonna do this with this heartbreak? And I spoke about this at nauseum, like it's boring at this point. But then with "I Love You," what was happening was this guy had cheated on me. Um and he kept bugging me. Like, he kept wanting things. Like, there's a song I wrote called "Use" in my new album that's also kind of in the universe of that encounter with him. How he felt entitled to me and wanted to use me for his benefit, and discarded me as soon as he couldn't. As soon as he, and what he wanted was my voice. He really just wanted my voice. And when he didn't have my voice, he threw his toys out of the cart. Um And then also at the same time, there was another boy in the background who was unsure about what to do about his feelings for me. You know those people that are hot and cold and gaslight you, not gaslight you, breadcrumb you. They give you just enough, and then they go zzz, and you're just like, look at this guy. But anyway, so I was upset. But anyway, that's, I don't know if that answers the first question. And then the second question was about me switching up the feature story in house music. Yeah.
Yes, the credit, just giving credit, credit where it's due. So,
Yeah.
do you think that featuring doesn't do enough?
I look, if you want to be featured, that's great. But I don't think as a vocalist it does enough. Because if you look at any platform, go on Apple now. You can go on Apple now. You can go on you can go on Spotify, whatever platform it is. The person who gets the first credit is always the producer. And in house music, we as vocalists specifically were often completely not even credited. And I used to like that. As a child, I thought that was cool because it looked like, fame scared me. It still kind of does, if I'm honest, because it just feels like everybody's entitled to a piece of you. But I understand it differently now because that was essentially all of the producers, these heavyweight producers, completely erasing Monique Bingham from that Blue Six album. It's a Blue Six album, for example. I use that as an example. That's where I discovered house music in the song called she did a lot of stuff with Blue Six. She's on a lot of those tracks. She's in a lot of those classics, but we don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. The Kings of Tomorrow. I don't even know what this vocalist's name is, and that's a shame on my part as a vocalist in the culture who doesn't know. But the lady that sings, how does that song go? I know the song. I'm not remembering the name right now, but I think it's Tomorrow. So tell me, how do you do? That lady, I don't know what's her name.
Brian McKnight's ex-wife, Julia McKnight.
There you go. I don't know her name, but it's essentially a point of erasure, and that bleeds into absolutely every aspect of house music and how the vocalist gets erased and forgotten, and it becomes the producer song. Julian Gomes and I were nominated for A Thousand Memories as co-writers and co-owners of the song. He wrote the musical component and I wrote the melodic. Everything you're singing, you're not singing his piano chord or his drum line. You sing 1,000 Memories, which I wrote, for example. You know what I mean? I wrote that and the melody is mine. But at the awards ceremony, my name was not on the plaque, though the song is ours. They didn't even bother to put the feature CEO, because that's how the song is credited, for example.
Sure,
It's
on
A
that.
Thousand Memories by Julian Gomes featuring CEO. And even on that award, that plaque that they gave out for us in our song, and all of us fought for it. Like Julian fought for it, At Jazz fought for it, all of my sisters in house music fought for it. And they're just like, how do they not put your name on the plaque when you sing the song and people, the song is called A Thousand Memories because of your words? you know so that erasure continues, and it's in every single space, even in the, again, I've answered this before and I've spoken to this before, is how the DJ is booked. He can have anything or nothing to do with the song, and he'll still get booked, and he'll still make more money off of playing A Thousand Memories than I ever have as the singer and the writer of it. So I needed to be in the driver's seat just for once. And I feel like that's something that needs to change. And I don't know how I'm gonna change it, which makes me shy of house music. And I don't wanna hate house music because I loved it. And I still do love it. Like, it's still incredible. It's the sound that raised me. It's the sound that I identified to. It's the sound that is in my bloody bone marrow. It's in my atoms. But I don't want to hate it, and it's very hard not to, because it wants to erase me and use me for all it can and then discard me, because it always does. And I don't know how that's going to change. I've tried in my way to make it suit me by by being on the driver's seat of a whole album and featuring producers who championed it. And they're like, finally, we're getting to do this. And it's right that more people should do this, but I don't know who else has the energy to do it because it is taxing. But then also I was angry, so I don't know. I think anger is a fuse under my ass. But yeah, so there was that. And then your third question, I forget. Sorry.
I also forgot. But yeah, no. What was the third question? Oh yeah, features. Um, so you alluded to it just now. So are you? I know Torn Tapestries is it's very neo soul, broken. Like broken jazz. What's it? Broken jazz. It's it's away from house, but it is but house.
Yeah.
Um, so are you still gonna be doing house music tracks? It sounded a bit like you're like, hey, it fits like to house music.
I'm
But
quite too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite too for tech house music because of the infrastructure around it. Like I'm rethinking how to engage with it because I've given so much of my voice to it and seen a lot of good things and plugs in. But I always look at it and I see whenever, even there's another example. Like Dawson and I, for example,
forbidden.
are co-owners of Forbidden as well as nobody else. But the plaque for the gold, because we have a gold record together in nobody else. They only made a plaque for Dawson. They didn't make a plaque for me.
But that's the flop of dance music awards. But I get what
No,
you
no,
mean.
no. The record label that we signed that to, nobody else. For example, I don't get a plaque for it. For example, and then even in the way that the streams work out, both those songs are over and above 1 million streams each, easy. That was at the end of 2020. They'd hit 1 million streams each, at least. One was on 1.5 bars, and those numbers don't reflect on my side just because of the infrastructure of the musical space, which is frustrating for you if you want to grow. And I
Yeah.
try not to take it personally because, again, I don't want to be jaded. I don't want to hate the culture and the vibes and the music that raised me, but it's hard to want to continue to give to a place that takes and doesn't reward you back.
Sure. Yeah. That's deep. It's deep. It's really deep what you're saying. But I just hope. Yeah, I just hope there's a way, there's a work around it. I don't know if.
I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what it has to be. I don't know what it has to be. I feel like the people in charge, the people in charge are just too complacent with how it's always worked for them and not for us. So until the people in charge change, literally move out and new people move in, hopefully that will change, but I don't know.
yeah. Then releasing as indie, would that work?
It's down to even, like I said, the how it's credited. How it's credited on the music platform. The producer gets the nod first. So maybe I should start producing too. Well, I have, because I co-produced Torn Tapestries just to see. But like the nods go to the producer first before they go to the vocalist, even if it's my idea first as the vocalist. But as long as I am not in the producer credit, even there at the base level, I am second best to my own work.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, I really hope it'll change, and I think working, maybe that should be the demand when you work with producers. To have those production credits to you, and let's give it a shot with putting your name first.
Yeah, but
And
not just me, man. All of us who are vocalists are crying about the same thing. I'm not speaking about just Sio's experience.
yeah,
All of us have gone through this. I think even Zion on some level, maybe. I don't know. I'm saying Zion a lot because I can see his face looking at me down here. But you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I don't know a lot of male vocalists. Like, I haven't really sat and spoken to Bongani, Makulu, or any of those guys. A lot of these conversations I'm having with is the girl them, and we all scaling into A1 yafana. Everything I'm saying is everything that Kylie Mitchell is going through, is everything that Mitch is going through, is everything that the legendary Toshi is going through. We're always going through it. All of us. Jackie Queens has faced this. And then we're just like, and yes, it sounds like we're moaning and we're ungrateful, but it's also just tiring to the point where you're just like, Yazin, it's fine. Miss me. And like, I feel like that a lot. And a lot of us do. So we just like pivot. And we just like, it's toxic here where the guy am I in charge.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
no,
Pulse News. I no
leave it.
issues
It's
today.
tough, but it's a conversation to be had, and we need to continue having it. Yeah, Vox, back to you, man.
Thank you to Deep House News. Please do check out that website. Go to Deep House News. There's so much to learn about house music. This man has been doing amazing things. So shout out to Deep House News for joining us on Music Nights. Let's give the mic to a lady first. I see the gents have raised their hands, but can we give the mic to Sunflower? Sunflower, welcome to Music Nights. Please unmute.
Hi everyone. Hi Vokzman and Lloyd, and thank you for the platform. Hey Sio, I'm so happy to be a part of this space right now. Most of the questions that I wanted to ask were already relayed by Deep House Muse, especially regarding the challenges that you face as a vocalist in the dance house music space. But besides that, your craft, wow, like, dude, I'm literally a big fan. Like, since Vokzman said that Sia's gonna be joining us this Wednesday, I've just been waiting the whole day to just converse with you. Like, I feel like you're so cool.
Thank you so much.
Friends?
Yeah, let's be friends.
Okay,
Absolutely.
anyway, I've already bought tickets for Spring Fiesta and what is it, Rocking the Daisies. Like, when you said you're gonna be at Rocking the Daisies, I was like, oh my gosh, because for Spring Fiesta I already had the tickets, especially for the Stay True Sound stage. I'm gonna be there. So with regards to what is this, Rocking the Daisies, is it gonna be both Joburg and Cape Town? Because I have the Joburg ticket.
For now, as far as I'm aware, I'm only performing on the Cape Town stage. I'm not sure. Like, I haven't got like a full itinerary of what's happening. Yeah, but for now, that's all. But at least you get to see me at Spring Fiesta, so I'm very grateful that you're coming through.
All right, so thank you so much. Alchemy is the best. Reverse Flight was actually the first song I heard, and ever since then, like, I've just been following all your like releases, features, Soulfully Broken. Oh my gosh, it's just a whole lot. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you. Bye. You can take me down as a speaker. It's fine.
Thank you so much, Sunflower. Thanks for joining us. She did tweet that she was waiting for the space for the longest time. So, we thank you so much. Let's give the mic to Papa Lisedi. Papa Lisedi, please unmute, brother. And then after him, we'll give the mic to Martino. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Sure, Vokzman. Sure, Lloyd. And our guest, Sio. Hi, Sio. How you doing?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good, thank you. First of all, I just wanted to say that you are amazing. You're an amazing storyteller.
Thank you.
I've got actually two questions for you. There's one song you did in particular, 2017, with Jaden Vedder. It's called Criminal. I'm not sure if you still remember that song.
Yes, I remember it.
Yes, how did that song come about? Because I still think it's an amazing song, and we predominantly know you as a house music vocalist, right? Do you box yourself as such? If one amazing producer in the country, who's by far the best for me right now, Gavzada Small, approaches you to actually have a feature, and I'm a piano song, would you jump on it?
Yeah. Deep House News. That was your second question. That was your third question. Who would I work with?
Was that his third question?
That was his third question. Who would I work with in this space? I don't think I would. Like,
wow.
And I had this had a similar question when Gom was on fire worldwide, right? And people came through and asked me to feature on Gom tracks, and I was just like, doesn't feel like my space. And Amapiano's amazing, as is Gom, but it doesn't feel like an authentic to me story. It feels like I'd be jumping on it. And maybe I'm mad. You're welcome to tell me I'm loony, and that's fine. But it feels like I'd be jumping on it because it's the trend. Because I've seen a couple of artists. I won't name names, but I've seen artists jump from a wave to the next wave, and that's not who I am. I know who I am and what my story is and what calls to me. And as much as Amapiano is breaking the world down, I don't know if I'm ready and it's authentic to me right now. This could change. And I also could be that girl twerking on a yacht, though I can't dance to save my soul. But that could also happen because I'm also like very, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It will take it needs to feel authentic to me. I also know, for example, and this is mad, I wasn't really a big fan of Afro tech, nah? Because it's also another big sound that's breaking the world right now, and it's very South African. And the first time I've plugged into and you know how old Afro House is, ne? Afro Tech is. The
Sure.
only time it's called to me, the first time it's ever called to me was in Dear Old Man, and Dear Old Man is barely a month old. You know what I mean? So there needs to be that click. There needs to be a song and a sound that really, really I can honestly to godly connect with and not impose myself on. That would make me go to try Amapiano. And it needs to be authentic to me.
Oh, cool.
What was your other question? Sorry, Lizzie.
My first question was the song featured with what's this? Jaden
Oh
Vedder.
yeah, JD Invader. How did that come about?
Yes.
So yeah, so I was fangirling, I mean, hard over a lot like JD Invader as well as Zaki Ibrahim. Um I've always been a fan. Like who doesn't know them? Like duh. And I'd reached out to them on, especially on today to Jadine specifically on Facebook, and like she replied a year later, and I nearly fell off my chair. And we spoke a little bit, and then and around the time where I started doing music with Julian Gomes and everybody else, then she reached out and she shared a song about what she was going through because she'd also just gone through something dark. Um, in terms of a relationship that she'd been in. And I was just like, okay, so the beat's name is Criminal. This is how she's feeling. She didn't write anything. I wrote the first part of it, and she'd sent the chorus, I think. And I'd worked off of what she wrote in the chorus. I was like, okay, what would be criminal? And then I wrote that. And I really like it, actually. I like the Luca remix more
The
than
remix,
the
yeah.
original. Yeah, but yeah, so that's how that came about.
Incredible.
Then the
Just,
question.
just one last one.
Yeah.
Can I just put you on the spot? Okay, I've got a friend. I think she's actually listening. Listening. Her
Yeah.
name is Sabrina Child. Are you open to maybe have a feature with her? Because I think she's also amazing.
I have like this dream of doing a girls only album.
Even better. Even
You know what
better.
I mean? And there's so many incredible women making music and singing on songs that I think would be fire. Like a project with Sabrina and everybody around the world who's in this space would be so much fun for me to just try and see what we make of it because I think she's incredible.
Okay, can you just make my dream come true? Because I would love to see that feature. Thank you so much. God
Away,
bless.
thank you. God bless you too.
Away. Away.
Away.
Shout out Papa Lisedi. Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming to Music Nights on this Wednesday. Oh, look who's here. Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina's also here. Let's
Hi,
give them.
sister.
And she's amazing. Yes. We had a couple of weeks ago. Let's give the mic to Martin. Let's give the mic to Martin Winchester, and then we'll give the mic to the wonderful and amazing Sabrina Child, who we actually had on Music Nights a couple of weeks ago. And that space, yes, I uploaded it on my YouTube channel. So if you missed it and you want to listen again to the amazing conversation that we had with Sabrina, go to my YouTube channel and you'd find that interview right there. Martino, unmute my brother.
Yo, good evening. Ish.
Happy.
We can actually hear you clearly. I'm so shocked.
Hey, Skalvig.
Hey man, I prepared myself, but you know, how. Anyway, how are you, Vokzman?
I'm all good, man. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. We have the amazing vocalist here in the space today, finally.
Yeah. And I'm still coming to her like now. Lloyd, how are you?
Nah, I'm fine. Martina van Skalvik. How's it?
Ah man, everything has been amazing. August has been wonderful. Kishapo, yeah.
But do you know that you are a virtual co-host of our spaces? I'm quite surprised that you came in earlier today.
Let's not go over there because someone threw me under the bus early in the morning. I don't know what was he thinking. But anyway, about that. T-Boss News, how are you?
Ayoba, all is well.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we had.
Too long.
But anyway, glad you have you back. And to Sunflower Pizza and Sunday.
Martina. Aye. We don't have the time.
Okay, anyway. CEO, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you?
Look, I'm really happy and glad that you're actually here on the space. And I don't know how did he do it, but I'm glad that he has done it and he approached you and went to your inbox and see you. Can you please come be on our space? And he did it. I'm actually happy that you're here. I'm really excited, really excited. But somebody actually asked you a question about your name. Yeah, about your name. So I wanted to go back to that part of the name because that's where the poetry started, right? Back in high school.
Yes. Somebody was teasing me in the street.
I did my homework. I don't play. So, I did my homework.
So someone was teasing me in the street about my name, and I replied in rhyme, and it was cheesy, but it wasn't like roses are red, violets are blue. So I was like, maybe I got something here. So I started writing poems from that point.
Yeah. And since it kept on going on, I mean, there was a time that you were growing up and then you were trying to sing, and then you mentioned that your mother was like, tulo ya bimba, something like that. I remember watching that on Bread for Soul also, yeah. And then there was a part when that she had the chance to listen to you in a church choir. How was that experience? Yeah.
So I think she started paying attention seriously when she heard me sing in front of, that was actually quite a big crowd if you think about it. I think it was 6,000 people at the funeral of the priest, because a priest had been murdered where we stayed, right? So, and he was from Ireland, so a lot of people came through, and my mother heard me sing and she's just like, hold on, maybe something's going on here. So
that's when she
I also didn't think much of it. They just said sing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many people. And I was I think I was 14 years old, so that was terrifying. But sang, and my mom was like, well done, girl. And I mean, it's mom, so stamp of approval, I guess.
And she's a pillar in your support and all the way. I mean, she's been there on the road with you. I mean, that's incredible. I got a lot of questions, but I gotta share with other people. So, but I'm gonna stay here and give others a chance. So yeah, I'm gonna be with you. Thanks, guys. I'm still gonna be here.
Shout out Martino. Okay, I didn't see any hands. So njoba ngaboni izandla ngiyanyeka kusta ngoba uzwa. But anyway, let's welcome to the space and say good evening to Sabrina. Sabrina, good evening. Please unmute.
Good evening. Good evening, Sio. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Sio, you are amazing, hun. You really are. Your writing, your style, your voice, incredible. I love your work, particularly the work that you've done and contributed to the scene. It's interesting because I have only just kind of came into the space to listen. I just finished work. And I caught the part where you talked about possibly doing music as a collaborative with females, and I think that's a significant point that you mentioned. And you did, I guess I don't really necessarily have a question, but I guess, do you think if we did all do that, it would allow more opportunity for the live gigs to kind of pay more attention to us as vocalists? Because I agree with what you said in regards to club space and singing, and the difference between, when you've got a live band and then singing in a club, very different. It's not necessarily tailored to us for the sound quality, the hearing yourself back, the mic, etc. So do you think if there was a collaborative sort of album, so to speak, with house singer vocalists, that would gain more recognition for us to be respected in the same way you discussed the featuring element and stuff?
I think, and I'm probably gonna segue a little bit. I'm gonna veer off the point in a way.
Yes.
But I think us collaborating with each other gives more of us permission to collaborate with each other, because that's not a thing we do as female vocalists specifically.
Yes.
Because I believe, just watching, and this is across music genre. There's a way that the world has made it feel like there's only place for one woman among the guys, and that's not true.
That's not true.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like I look at like, and this is a very bad example, but you look at hip hop, and for example, there's only one Nicki Minaj in one space for her. So as soon as competition comes out, she needs to either step
aside,
step aside, or eliminate the competition, because the world has made it feel like there's only room for one. And I don't agree. So over and above just, and I also don't know if that's really going to help us and our just casting our net in playing live. I don't know what it's going to take for us to be taken seriously in a live playing space, because again, no matter where you look at festivals, even at I don't, how many festivals, for example, I'm just asking the room at large, can you think of where a female house vocalist has been a headliner of a floor? Like, this is the first time in my experience where I've been invited as an artist and not as a featured artist at a house event, and that's namely Spring Fiesta. All my life, I've never seen a woman come through who's a vocalist, So I don't know if that's ever going to change in our lifetime. I don't know what we need to do for that, but I do feel like I think, again, we've been put in these bubbles and forced into subconscious opposition and competition with each other. That goes right down to how patriarchal society is outside of just music, that we meant to compete with each other on a level where we don't want to collaborate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we're kind of scared of that. And I want to say fuck you to that shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I think you're brilliant. I also think Jadine is brilliant. I also think that Toshi is brilliant. We're all incredible in our own ways and have beautiful things to offer the scene.
Yes.
And music in general, not just the scene. You know what I mean? So I feel like us collaborating would just break at least one little barrier. There's a lot we need to overcome, but I feel like that's more an ally thing. That's more men in powerful places thing than it is ours. Because we're just going to be labeled angry black women, and we're both black,
Oh
Sabrina.
God.
So
Yes, yes.
we're just going to be labeled angry black woman shouting in a corner and just, left in a corner like spoiled children on a timeout.
But
Because
having
that's how we
said that,
treated.
it allows us to use our voice, not just, I don't mean lyrically and vocally
Mm-hmm.
and melodically, but it can, I believe, allow us to make a stance so that people pay attention more. Because I think when I was in the space talking with the guys before, one of the things I do like to do is work with producers who give that opportunity for us to actually sing it live. And a lot of my experience within the house scene, people love to sing along to the songs.
Yes.
They want to sing along. And, one of the things I really enjoy is being able to perform and watch everybody singing the song. So I think the dominating DJ thing should or could make space for that more for us. And I think maybe us doing something in that vein may be the answer. Maybe, us taking a stance on our own and being recognized for what we actually offer individually, because we all have an individual style, taste, tone.
And audience as well.
Yes. So, yeah, thank you so much for including me in the conversation. The guys in Music Nights. It's a pleasure to be here. But keep doing what you're doing, hun. It's awesome, very inspiring, and we love you over here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for being a part of Music Nights again. Today, as just a speaker, not as a guest. Thank you so much for coming through. Let's give the mic. Let's give the mic to Kusta. Kusta, grab the mic, and then after Kusta, we'll go to Chloe. I'm just reminding everyone, we are an hour and 25 minutes or so. So our space, yes, lost maximum of 2 hours. So if you've got anything lastly to say, please come now, because 2 hours is gonna be done very soon, and you'll never get a chance again to ever speak to this wonderful person, because selective style doesn't give you that privilege. Selective style doesn't give you the privilege of talking to these artists. So please come up. Kusta, get the mic, brother, and unmute. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Shout out to the space once more. Greetings to the lyrical snob. Very fearless on the pen game. Very solid on the lyrical content and also the arrangement. I think I'm gonna jump in between features as well as subtext. I'd like to ask a few questions with regards to some of her work. I'm a fan. I think a while back when Features came out, I wrote something about how her pen game is on point and how her solidness sort of speaks volume without having to say much. There's a joint that the lyrical snob did with Charles Webster. It's called Women. Um, I'd like to get your train of thought regarding penning that particular record, because I feel like there's lots said in that record that speaks volume, and the execution on that masterpiece.
Yeah, man. Mad love from the lyrical snob to you, sir. So in woman, I am a South African woman of color. I am from a colored community. My mom's colored, my dad is Zulu, so I'm both those people and identify as both those tribes, as complex as they are. And I've had to be in a taxi, and I used to do a lot of odd jobs, as you know, lots, like weird jobs. And sometimes we have to use taxis, and taxis to Annandale ended at 8. I wish, like, whenever I needed to use a taxi, I swear I wish I lived in Soweto. You know what I mean? Because Soweto taxis don't seem to end. You can catch a taxi home at 10, like a Siaya, a vehicle, Heis, Quantum. You can catch it at 10. You can't to Annandale. If you're not in a taxi by 8, you're fucked. So I remember I had this job for the day, and it was to make ends meet, right? And we went. The last taxi home was overloaded because we were a lot, and there weren't any other taxis thereafter. So it was an Iveco, so it seats a lot of people, but it was overloaded. So I had to stand the whole way home, and I was standing right at the back because I'm tall. So they like to put tall, skinny people in the back seat, as you know. So I'm there at the back standing, and there's this row, like a row, like that the back seat is like 5 people could sit. And there were men, that whole back seat. And that whole journey home. So from town, Johannesburg Central to Annandale, before you even go through the hood itself, takes about 30 minutes with no traffic. Now, with an overloaded car, that was roughly 45 minutes because we're heavy, the engine's old, they don't service the thing. So it's the whole way home. And the whole way home, I was being fondled. There were men laughing at the fact that I couldn't tell who was grabbing my ass the whole way home. So for 45 minutes, that happened to me. Just one example of what I've been through. I've been through worse. That's a light example. And then you grow up in a space where you are taught, or at least I've developed a lot of safety mechanisms for myself and how I walk in town, because I don't want to grab anybody or any man's attention in a way that makes him desire me, because his desire is deadly. There's that. And then there's also how if I challenge a man, especially a black man, too much, I'm going to get hurt. So I needed to learn to walk that place nicely while preserving my dignity and my safety. And that's a very delicate balance to strike. And to a degree, I did strike it. But you can't go to town in any way, shape, or form. In Johannesburg, especially if you have to catch a taxi at Noord. Haha, forget. And I had to use that taxi rank a lot. So there's that. And then I sit in my home and I learn. And this I wrote Woman during lockdown COVID season 1. The first one. And I was dabbling with the idea of doing a house album. So Charles Webster sent me a batch of beats, like a lot of beats. He sent me a folder of beats, and this particular sound jumped out at me. And I think I was on my phone, and I just learned that there was a mother who was hung on a tree while pregnant because her man was upset with something, and he didn't know how to deal with his anger. And it was a black man that did that. And I was just like, okay, Sio, if people care about you as they say they do, go look at your demographics and who your audience is. And my audience is predominantly the black male South African, right? The working class guy. And I was just like, I'm not saying that this is everybody, but this is the demographic that's perpetrating and being reported about the most, right? And I'm just like, okay, Owens, I need to talk to you specifically in this song. You specifically who care about Sio, who care about what I have to say, who listen to me and ask me for my lyrics. So I hope you're listening to this specific song, so that when you encounter a man who's doing this shit, nimkhuze, if anything, because you think, okay, Sio's gone through this and Sio's spoken to it, and Sio said something about this. So let me call this bra to order and tell him that this is nonsense. That's all I wanted to do with women. And I was hurt. There's many ways that I've been violated and will be violated as a black woman in South Africa, as the rape capital of the world. So I needed to speak on that because it was frustrating. And then those reports just kept coming. woman getting raped, woman getting killed, man's upset. How, Booty? Can't you deal with your emotions in a way other than killing her? So I needed to speak to that. So that was essentially the thought process behind woman. And I'd also like I'd had a conversation where I didn't want to leave my songs in a place of hopelessness, and I needed to at least find some kind of light in that entire project. So I sought to not leave people completely shattered, because I'd felt that way. And it feels hopeless being a woman in South Africa, especially a woman of color. But I wanted the women to feel proud of what they've been through, that they've survived it, that they own it and it doesn't own them, and they've overcome things, and that they are overcomers and they are heroes to me for doing and being those things. So that's why it ends in that light. And Charles got it, because like I remember like the beat is very much simply the beginning part of it, and then when he heard everything else, he adjusted it and he got musicians in to bring light, because he got it. He completely got it. And that's the thing I love about the gents I worked with on features, because they 100% got what I wanted to say, and they 100%, if not 1,000%, supported the vision, supported the messages, and I was terrified. I was shitting myself to put that out, because it's a lot to say, but I felt like I needed to say it, and I was like, well, let's put your money where your mouth is, you know. So that's sort of the thought process behind Woman.
You put it out there. It's I could tell. I could feel it. The certain records when you listen to and you're like, oh, hold on, and you sort of look around you and be like, hey, I sort of feel what you went through, and I sympathize with what you were going through at that time, because I could feel it on the record, not just on Women alone.
The whole album was like that.
The entire album, and you hit hard, because even as thought provoking your lyrics were, but the fact that you were able to remedy it with the producers that you worked with, because I see also with Sex Pot, there's this line that you have in there that sort of, that ignites what it means, and you went deep to racist child, and I'm like, hold on. I was still talking to the lyrical snob here, or is she on another world of her own, And I sort of enjoyed that, because I sort of understood your thought processing behind it. And it's always pleasing to sort of listen to a full body of work where you can actually tell what the artist is going through their songs, through the writing process. Because sometimes it's okay to listen to singles, but sometimes you need to dig in and nibble into the whole full body of work, so that you sort of get an understanding of what you were trying to say. I felt it. And shout out to you as well. And Broken Sunset, I also need a little bit of clarity with regards to how Broken Sunset came about. And the subtext poem, because it's on some, hey, hold on, hear me out here.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, just I want to add another little bit to Woman. Also, just like, as soon as a woman is born, she's property. Is another thing that also works on my nerves about being a woman. Like, if I could go back and talk to Prakod and say, Prakod, make me a rich, straight white man, please. Because being a woman is nonsense. As much as I love it, it's nonsense. Because as soon as you're born as a woman, you're property. And your identity is someone's daughter, then someone's sister, if that's it. And then you become someone's wife. And even your name, your last name gets erased. So you take on the identity of whoever you're marrying. So that's another element to the writing of Woman. In terms of Broken Sunset, it's that idiot I was in love with, man. That wasn't worth my energy. So I wrote a song about him, and that's the one song I have, like, I had to dissociate, and I pretty successfully dissociated a lot of that album from him. But that was the one song that I struggled with, and it's the one song I don't sing live. Like it hurts. It's so to sing because that's essentially my love for a person who abused it, who used me for their benefit, and tossed me aside when they no longer needed it or what no longer given access to me. And then what was the other one? So yeah, I don't know. The thought process there is triggering. So kune PTSD skis. So yeah, what was the other part of your question?
Subtext,
Subtext the poem.
the poem. Yes.
Yeah. So it's also somewhat in line with the story of woman for me because I'd gone through a lot, like I've said, and there's very many stories like the taxi story that I could share with you, and also how women, and I don't know about the Western world because I'm not in it, but African women are gatekeepers of the patriarchy in a way that dehumanizes women, right? They are gatekeepers of what being a makoti means and what being a girl in society means. And we're not allowed to evolve outside of our mother's hands. And my mother didn't do that for sure, but like I've seen this happen a lot. And I was also like in a job, as you've spoken about in subtext, where it was very early in my musical sharing and recording journey where I had a boss and I had a different job. So I had the 9 to 5, we can pay for better food now kind of job, and I don't feel like an idiot doing it. But I also didn't stay there long because it wasn't what I was supposed to do. And as lovingly as she meant, she advised me to sexualize my image in order to sell music. And I was just like, even you, ma'am, you really telling me that the only way I can sell music and the only way people are going to care about what I have to say is if I'm naked on a yacht? Ah, ah. It's so ingrained. So all of that sort of frustration, and it's weird because subtext, the poem was the first subtexts, and sex part, ironically, right, were the first songs for subtexts, the album that I had done, but sex part didn't fit with the rest of the story, so we decided to take it out, and I banked it, and I got to use it later, which I was grateful for. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, I could tell. I could tell a lot. I could tell a lot from just those two body of work. Um, and it's commendable for you to sort of use your pen to articulate these thoughts, and I think it's very profound. The fact that you resonate with a lot of women, not women only, with a lot of guys, a lot of men as well that appreciate
100%.
your work
100%.
and keep shining. Um, Also, I think having Kid Funk also as one of the guys that sort of opened it up and beyond some, hey, this young lad has got something in here, and the ability to be, the willingness to be teachable by the greats,
Yeah, man.
um, and I see what Stay True is doing, which is amazing, and I see you having your own voice there as a female vocalist who's an arranger as well as a producer. And some of us follow the work and we don't follow the hype. We follow the work
Thank you.
and
That's
we can see
beautiful.
that. And him harnessing you and saying, okay, you can jump on, come through.
Yeah,
You can
it's
still
actually his.
remain.
It's actually his idea to make features an album because I was gonna release it as 3 EPs, and he's like, "No, make it an album." I was like, "No." He's like, "Trust me." I'm like, "No," and it worked out. I was terrified. It was like subtext terrified me because I was stepping away from house to release. It scared me silly, and features also scared me because of what I said in features and all of the things that I was challenging in features. But like it's very reassuring to have someone, even if it's just one person in your corner. Sometimes you don't and you just have you, and sometimes that's enough, but it's very nice to have somebody of Kid Funk's caliber say, I got you. This makes sense. Trust me.
It made a lot of sense, and it now that you are narrating it, it makes even more sense. I could feel it, or I could tell from the body of work that was put out, and I see also you brought it back to torn tapes. What is it?
Tapestries.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I like I'm trying to understand the transitioning, but also at the same time get into the thinking capacity behind it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm yet to dig deeper into it. I've listened to a few joints, but so far, I think there's something there. There's a joint that you did, Alchemy. I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to wrap my hand around it because we just mentioned features and we just mentioned subtext also, but I'm trying to wrap my hand around it. But I'm also like, okay, I see you, but also at the same time, I'm like, who is? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I mean, I believe strongly in evolution. I remember having this conversation with Dawson because we were talking about doing a video for Forbidden at the time. So that's long ago. You can tell how long ago that was. But like Dawson and I remember I had like a job in Cape Town to model or some dumb thing like that. And Dawson came to me and he was like, no, we need to keep the sound the same for the next album. And I'm like, Dawson, the reason people listen to you is because you're fresh. So as much as it's important, I think, and it's very important, and you can come at me for this if you want to. I think it's important to establish your sound, but I also feel like it's important to give yourself permission to do new things. And it's important for you, for me, specifically for Sio, it's very important to be brave. I don't like being in a box that you can title. I don't like you saying that this is the box and you must stay in the box. As soon as you put me in a box, I jump out. And then I'm like a soapy fish that you're not gonna catch, Ngizoshelela, and I'm going to skid all over the show because I don't want to be put into that, because then if I stop evolving, then I might as well die. And I take that strongly in my I that's my approach to my work. So I challenge myself to do things that are new, to do things that terrify me. I think, I don't know, like I need to stop putting myself under so much stress. But I also don't believe that being alive is safe. I think that that's an illusion. So I challenge whatever terrifies me head on. So as soon as you put me in a box, I go and evolve. It's just me. So yeah.
Just like gaslighting.
Yeah, man. Rapping. Yeah, guys, that was scary as hell. But yeah, we did it.
Kusta, Oncha, can I just hold you there? And I just want to say to you, I think maybe next time let's start with you, Mfana, ne? Ngiyacela, because I know you now. I've actually learned how you.
Dude, I was gonna
I
say
think
the
we should
same
start with
thing.
you, please.
I was
Next
gonna say
time,
the
come
same thing.
early. Yeah, we'll start with you, and we'll take it from there. Shout out to Kusta, shout out. Got like 15 minutes left, and I say 15 minutes because at 10 in a load shedding, so I don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah,
happen.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey. Yazi ubarusi ukhuluma kamnandi yazi niyambuza kodwa bafethu akhuluma kamnandi lo sisi Lorna man. Hayi, let's give the mic to Klo nja, unmute.
Good evening, gentlemen, ladies, Vokzman, Lloyd. Firstly, I'd like to just thank you guys for the hosting this space. Look at us now, we get to talk to our idols, and it's not just the wooden mic idols, it's proper idols. Yeah, that's yeah, man. Thank you so much. To see you, hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you?
Good. Yeah, my name is Tlo Tebucho. Okay, I'm known as Tlo, but my name is Tebucho. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate you. I saw you appeared somewhere there in Times Square, the billboard.
Mad.
I think that's super cool, eh? Congrats
Thank
on
you
that.
so much.
Yeah, and secondly, I just have three questions. I'll try to keep it short since
Yeah,
you don't
also
have
try
time.
and keep it short because I talk a lot.
Yeah, don't answer like Black Coffee because last time we had Black Coffee, he was answering. Yeah, so the first question, actually, yeah, let me just jump into it. I saw you were involved in one of the project. I think it's called the Live at SABC Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that project.
Mm.
Looking at also the guys that were on the band, I saw you featured guys like your Marcus Gilmore and
Yeah,
Delay
that's
Shocks.
not
I know
me.
Delay
That's
Shocks.
yeah. Sorry, that's not me. That was all Robin. Robin Fasikok is the trumpeter from
Oh, okay.
Envy. Yeah, so he was the plug.
Yes, I was like, okay, how do you get the guy from New York and Zimbabwe, like put them together in one and have that massive project? That album is very beautiful, man.
It is
I really
stunning.
enjoyed
It's
it.
stunning.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the
So
trumpet guy plugged you.
yeah, so he's very into the live jazz scene and the like he's been all over the world to play jazz stuff. He's also part of Black Coffee's album, ironically, that you mentioned it, and also a Grammy winner by association, and his contribution to that. So big ups to him. He's an incredible trumpeter composer. So he'd asked us because I remember I'd done like Dave and I were working on like live shows, so we were rehearsing how to put subtext share subtext with an audience.
Mm.
And Dave was kind of plugging into Enlight and creating this band. So he was making beats, and then he asked Robin to share his craft on it, as well as Shanoa to share guitar and bass. And then we done a song called Between Realms, right? And I wrote a poem for it, and I was just doing the a vocal noise in the back. They weren't really. We were just like tracking ideas, and that's a thing Dave and I do a lot. We would just track ideas and forget about it. Next thing I know, Dave is like, "No, you must sign yes, sis, because it's a released song." And you're like, "How, Dave? It was an idea." It's like, it's a song. And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So then for the live rendition, Robin was like, there's these friends of mine who are in the country doing things. So can we all just meet up and share? And I was sick, bruh. Like I had the worst flu, the flu that takes your voice out. And he invited me to do the vocals there. That's why it sounds like it sounds. But we don't care. It still did a decent job. So yeah, so
Yeah,
Marcus
no, it's
Gilmore was in
proper.
the country. Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
was.
No, really proper stuff. Any future plans regarding that? Are you still gonna have something like that in the future, or it was just a once-off thing, or you're
I
not
don't know,
sure?
like to work with people always. If the music makes sense to me and it's something I'm interested, I'm always gonna plug into it. It doesn't matter the genre. If I can see myself fitting into it, I'm definitely gonna participate. So yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. So my second question is
So,
just
so I know, Bridge, you've got another one. Eh? Can I please stop you there? Is it fine?
Huskies.
As easy. So next,
okay, no, it's fine, it's
it'll
fine.
pile up here, the next time, come on.
Yeah, akbatla bottle.
Let's give the
Cool,
mic
cool.
to Dineo. But Dineo, before Abu Dineo, Shio, please also share with Alan that we'd like to please have him here on Twitter Spaces. We'd like to have an interview with him. We've been, but he just doesn't want to budge.
I'll ask. The man is very busy. So yeah, I will ask him on your behalf, and all the best. I'll pray also. I'll light a candle and pray that happens.
That's more than enough. Kirineo, DJ, amazing DJ who also comes from the DJ Christos Academy. Please unmute. Welcome to Music Night.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, Sio. I hope you're good.
I'm
Congratulations on all your achievements. And I just wanted to say that no questions. I'm just going to keep it short.
Oh no, I can't hear you, Mr. No.
She kept it too
I
short.
think we lost her.
Eish.
She kept it too short. Eish.
Seeing what
Eish.
Chronicle Deep as well achieved. And when I say people from the South, I'm speaking about Innerdale, Lenasia South, Lolly, Fine Town, Music Man, all of that. You know, we face so many challenges. But yeah, man, I just want to say you're such an inspiration. Just keep it up. And yeah, man, thank you for all the stories that you've shared with us. And yeah, man, just keep it up.
Massive love, and I'm proud of you because I know how difficult it is to get sucked out of the crushing mentality of that space and how it sucks you into mediocrity and a 9 to 5 and a safety that doesn't really exist. So I commend you for being brave enough and stepping out of the safe job and following your calling. So big ups to you too for that.
Thank you, Dideo. Thanks for coming through. Seeing that we have just less than 10 minutes, this is the last time I'm going to speak before I give the mic to the rest of the gents. Ntombi yaseJozi, ngiyabonga kakhulu ne Shio. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Ngicela ngawo blind. Kabuhlungu. Ngicela kuyachitheka. But we'll talk about it another day. We'll talk about that another day. I think we need to have you again. Please, definitely, we need to have you again. Perhaps you can plan something in the next 2 months or so. Let's see how the year goes. I mean, with regards to your new music coming out, regards to perhaps also performing. I was one festivity, and then we can talk to you again. That would be amazing. I think there's so much you can share with us. There's so much that we can learn from you too. So I look forward to that. Absolutely. Let's give the mic to Lloyd. Lloyd, don't take it too long.
Hey, finally. Anyway, Sio. China Chameleon just sent me a WhatsApp. He's asking about the name of the guy that broke your heart. He wants to make a song basically dedicated to him. So it's a diss track. He wants to produce a diss track dissing this guy. So he wants the name in J. He's also on the space. He's listening. Just give us the name.
I saw him for a second. Can I WhatsApp him straight rather? Because I guys. I don't want to get
Injalo. Can send him the message.
That's right. I'll send him a message. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's good. He's good at dedication tracks. I mean, he's a masterful producer. Like, China's incredible. But, like, he's really brilliant at dedication tracks. So this track is going to be fire.
Yeah, yes, this track, bunch. Yes, this track, bunch.
Shout out, Lloyd. Martino, keep it short. Let's hear you, brother. Unmute.
Yeah. Oh, Flip, you know, I didn't know that it was going to be like that short until 10, but I was going to ask more because I have like tons and tons more, but it will be like a topic for another day. But it was incredible having you. And by the way, I started watching TikTok because of you. I want to see you. Yeah. I love creative and I love listening to his beats and what's this other guy? I'll inbox you on Facebook. So many of them. I love playing that kind of stuff in my own space, especially when I play a bit of broken beat and acid jazz and more stuff. You know, I'm gonna talk a lot, but I not just keep it short. But it's been wonderful having you here. Yeah, it'll be a story for another day. Yep. Stay safe, keep it deep. I know it's Thursday. Today's Thursday, right? Vinyl Thursday. No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, my bro.
Okay, tomorrow it's Thursday, Vinyl Thursday. So I'll be in. Yeah, you know what? Let's keep it deep. Let's love the music and buy music. Please buy music. Don't download. Buy music. Yes. Everyone out there, buy music. Bandcamp, Track Source. You know, shop.
Shout out, Martino. And just also to share, tomorrow we have Kojo Akusa. Yes, tomorrow on Everything House Music, it's Kojo Akusa. Same time at 8 p.m. So please come and join us for that wonderful interview with an amazing artist. Deep House News, last thoughts, Incha?
Mic check. Was it good?
Aye, siyakuzwa.
All right, last thoughts. Sio is amazing. One of the best house music vocalists we have. Her body of work is incredible. If you just go to any DSP and play music, it's just incredible. So we have a phenomenal artist here. One of the best to do it. I just wish you more opportunities, more luck. A beautiful album you just released now, Torn Tapestries. I really enjoyed listening to it. Yeah, so it's gonna be a pleasure reviewing it and putting on the Deep House News website. Yeah, just see you super phenomenal. One of the best to do it at the moment, and I just wish you more growth and more opportunities. Yeah, I just want to see you go bigger and bigger, bigger than Times Square. You've got the
Yay!
talent. Yeah, you've got the talent. And yeah, man, we fans for you from day one, and we'll continue to be fans of you and of your music. And you, an amazing person as well. So big ups to you.
Thank you so much.
And that TikTok account, I'm scared of it. I've seen your TikToks. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
no, the thing I love about TikTok is how little pressure of perfection I need to do for anything to happen. I can like the dumbest things go viral. It is such a strange space, but I really love it. So it's been a gift for the expression, and it helps me not overdo in terms of the music thing because I've got like a different creative outlet, which helps.
Yeah. No. Shout outs to you, man. You're amazing, phenomenal. Keep at it. More
Thank
blessings,
you.
more life to you.
I receive and return.
Thank you.
Shout out Deep House News. CEO, I'll give you this one. I think we've got like maybe 2 minutes before
Yeah, before
before I
load
lose
shedding.
electricity. So the platform is yours. Please give us your last remarks. Even like let us know perhaps where we can see you perform perhaps next weekend or so. We know performing at these amazing events that are coming
Yeah.
up, but please tell us more. Thank you.
Yeah, big love for having me. It was incredible sharing, and I thank you for your openness to hearing my perspective on things as an artist and as a human being. Thank you for creating spaces where you get to, share who you are and what is important to you from what we do or what I do as an artist. Thank you for caring again, because you really don't have to. You honestly don't, but you do, and that's meaningful, and it not to say validates, but for lack of a better word, just validates the reason why. And I give thanks again for you all inviting me, and you that are listening here, and you who care about my music in any way, shape, or form, or my creative expression, inviting me into your lives and into your homes and weaving me into your memories so that you carry me and what I experience and the human experience in your lives, and that I'm a part of it is a great honor. So I'm grateful and blessed and highly favored. There's a lot of gigs in the pipeline, but nothing confirmed at this point. So just keep your eyes on my socials, and I'll drop when the flyers drop and stuff. So Vokzman, are the lights still on?
They are, but ngisaba ukuthi la esicima khona bese ugesi uvela ucime. So
Yeah, man.
thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for coming through. I think we needed more than 2 hours, and perhaps the next time we're gonna be more than 2 hours. But look forward to your successes as always. And so hlangana nawe estradini, see you. So
I
hlangana nawe
will. I
estradini.
will. Just say who you are, and yeah, excuse the weirdo. I'm weird. You'll see. It's fine.
Hayi nakanjani. Thank you so
I
much,
will.
everyone. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. Cheers, everyone. Thank
Yo,
you.
what's
Thank you.
next?
Bye.
Tomorrow there's no
Thanks.
lecture
Bye,
here.
Bye.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye, see you.
Bye.
Bye.